Hi, I'm Joe White from Ashland Community Theater. Welcome to Behind the Curtain, episode number 69. 2020 started out really well. We had so many big plans ahead of us. We had 2 plays that we were planning on doing. We had a movie that we were scheduled to do. So when we started 2020, we had 2019 in our rear view mirror. We were basking in all that great show that we did called Nights Out in last November. We had so many bigger plans ahead for us in 2020. Take a look at the show that Julie and I started in 2020, looking back on 2019.
So what ACT's doing is in early May, we're still locking down the dates. I thought we had the dates originally nailed down, but just coming into here to start filming, people said, but it is going to be early May. It's either going to be the 30th of April, 1st and 2nd of May, or 7th, 8th, and 9th of May. So we're still working that out, but it's called The Viewing Room. It's something I'm directing, and a writer friend of mine, Mark Smith, wrote this. And he's been submitting some stuff to us for a while. It's a great concept. It's a concept about, I don't want to give too much away, but it's about
family
at a wake. Let's leave it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. But we are doing something in October that, guess what? You're involved again.
I heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. Since you're going to direct it, that's going to be heavily involved.
Yes.
What are you directing in October?
Dracula. Dun,
That's
dun, dun.
awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
And those dates are definitely October 23rd, 24th, 29th, 30th, and 31st.
Yes.
So on Halloween night,
Yes.
you can come dressed up in costume, whatever you want, to see this Dracula show.
Yes.
So as 2020 started, moved along, we're into February. We were well underway with The Viewing Room, or TVR as I call it. I was even very fortunate to get a wonderful new co-host for Behind the Curtain in 2020, Harmony Morgan. She had so many plans for us to take BTC on the road, to visit our sponsors, do different things with actors and directors. We were very excited to see how that was going to happen. Look back and see how happy we were back in February of 2020.
Every time more people want to be in the show.
Well, it's because of the collaboration. I think the word of mouth's getting around that hopefully we're a fun group to be with, and we produce good work, and we promote collaboration, and we have a lot of fun. I think we do, and you'll see in some of the pictures and stuff we'll show you later.
It could be the extremely charming and handsome director of the theater company also, drawing the people in, right?
That could be.
It's possible.
You know, I can't argue with those kind of comments because I hate to be wrong.
Yeah.
So, wow. It's first compliment. This is 54 shows. That's the first compliment that I can remember ever having. I got to go back. I'll watch all 53 tonight just to make sure if that's okay.
To soothe yourself.
Just make sure. I'll edit out, and we'll have a whole show of compliments of the host here.
Great. I can't
And then
wait.
it'll be just that one you just had, which was good.
short.
So very short. I can enter into a
Short film.
Short film. Well, thank you very much. Now I'm flustered. Now I don't know what to say. But anyway,
It's okay.
we not only lured you into that in the Nights Out, you read some parts that there was a part that we wrote called Alicia and her bag of tricks.
So ACT has this way of pulling you in.
Nicely,
then-
though, because we want more people to join because we need a lot of help to get these things going.
It's like the Hotel California. You know,
I love that song.
you can check out.
You can check.
You
but
can
know,
never
check.
leave.
You can check in, but you can never check out, right?
No, you can check out, but you can never leave.
Really? I thought, what are the words? Can we go back to the song?
I guarantee you.
You guarantee that? Okay, we'll figure that out. Let's go. We'll go to the videotape later to find out what are the words.
Well, I mean, presumably you check in.
Yes.
to the hotel.
But you can never check out.
No, you can check out, but you can never leave.
Really?
Yes.
You could be right. I sang that song so many times. That's one of the things I totally appreciate the process of, picking the script, then casting the right people for the roles. And I think we've been very fortunate in getting the cast that we have. And I feel that as you're hearing them read their scenes and their lines and their asking their input, the character development process, to me, is an extremely important part, other than, take the script, let's go up on stage and say your lines and move around and you stand there and you stand there. That'll happen, but I think for it to be successful, I think the actors need to know who the people are that they're playing. who the other people are in the show and what their relationship is with them. And I know that we spent probably 6 hours over the last couple of weeks going over the characters and understanding the lines that these people say. And to me, that is as important, and somewhat more important, than actually the execution of getting everything, the lighting and everything else. I agree with all that. That's another part of the process. But if you don't have that foundation...
Right. So I have a question.
Yep.
Has the character development process in the viewing room been more intensive than other productions?
Yeah, I think, well, the ones, I don't direct every single show, and I don't do,
Right.
as a director, that's how I like to approach the show, because that's how, it's sort of like when I'm acting, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Right? And that's what I want. I want to understand my character better. And in the show that I was just in, Nights Out, I was struggling a little bit, even though I wrote the character, I was struggling with how to portray him.
Yeah.
And I knew of him, and I didn't know the relationships, and I felt that I would have liked that in there. So I said, anytime I'm going to do a show, this is how I'm going to put it out there. And that doesn't mean every director, every show will be like that, because every director has a different style. But I felt that's an important aspect of it.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to watch the cast go from just a cast to a family, and I'm seeing it. They're working into their dynamics, they're falling into their roles in the family, and it's very cool.
Yep. And I try to create the environment in which we're surrounded by each other and not necessarily have a hierarchical approach of it, like head of the table is a director and stage manager and assistant stage manager is to the right, and everybody's out there, and sort of like, if you ever do at a presentation at work, the person's always up at the podium, who's the president, the VP of the group has to speak, and everybody else just feels that they're talked to.
Yeah, no,
as
sometimes
opposed to
we don't
being
even give you a chair.
I know.
I
That's
know.
really nice that you guys do. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we just want to keep you humble.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely, because I need to be humbleized, if there's such a word. I'll look that one up later.
Yeah, you're going to want to look that one up.
Yeah, I think so. Right next to rhetorical.
Yeah.
I got a list growing here, so we'll be good. I'm hoping that you're going to stay as active as you can in the theater company, and also hosting here would be helpful for me, because it would be nice to have more consistent hosts going forward that can maybe we'll do some interviews and you have some ideas about taking us on the road and doing some wonderful things, and you got a lot of ideas out there about how we get behind the curtain. So
Yep. I will not leave you talking to an empty chair. I
well,
promise.
I know that would be kind of sad, but I would be able to still talk for 30 minutes without that interruption.
Well, I think they could splice you, right?
Yep.
Like you could talk to yourself.
Ooh.
Oh, that hadn't occurred to him.
Ooh,
That
wait a
hadn't occurred
second.
to
And
him.
I could wear the blue shirt and the other Jerry Garcia tie that I have.
You could wear the dress.
I could
and
wear the
the
dress
tie.
and the tie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious! Can I borrow the shoes? Because the
Yeah.
shoes are the key.
Sure.
All right.
But no, none of that happened. There was no TVR, no Dracula, no more movies, no more live behind the curtains, no more going to ball games, as you see from the empty stands, no more theater, nothing. So I started 2021 thinking that I would do a retrospective of 2020 and all the things we did. Well, I reached out to my ACT friends and family and asked them what they thought about that. This is what they came back with.
So why would you want to look back on 2020? Honestly, it wasn't really that bad. And it gets a bad rap, but I gotta tell you, for me, it was basically the, ow, damn it, oh. Excuse me. As I was saying, 2020 is just not that bad.
Look back at 2020? Damn right I'm looking back at 2020. I gotta make sure it's not following me.
It's a great show. True crimes, Barbara Walters, Hugh Downs.
Yes, 2020, I believe that 2020 is not a good vision for me. I cannot see that well, and I don't know what else to say. Thank you.
2020 was all about social distancing, garage beers, and bottle returns.
What are you talking about? 2020 was awesome.
I think it's still watching.
I will miss cutting my own hair.
Are you kidding me?
All right. They say that hindsight is 20/20. Well, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, so I say let's keep 2020 in hindsight so we don't have to think about it anymore. But no, Joe wants us to remember it. Okay, so I had 2 plays canceled while in production. My 60s garage band, The What Group, hasn't had a rehearsal in 12 months or a gig in over a year, and I gained 20 pounds. Thanks for reminding me. On the plus side, I got to perform in a couple of nice Zoom theater productions and began production of Friends in Black and White, the film, with Jerry Halfhide, Tommy Astro, and Joe. So, I guess it could have been worse. I still don't want to think about it. I want theater to reopen, and soon. Pay attention, Joe.
Hey, Joe. 2020's gone. I'm sick of all that jive. Like living inside of a big human beehive. But by the grace of God, we're still able and alive. So don't worry, my friend. ACT will survive. Twizzler?
Thank you. Thank you, Dave. No, I was thinking about what Larry and David said. 2020 wasn't great by any means, don't get me wrong. But we were able to do some really creative, fun stuff, given the limitations and under the circumstances. So even with the pandemic shutting us down, I decided to keep creativity going in some way. We started out with Zoom shows in March. We did a March Madness movie bracket to replace the lack of March Madness basketball. Oh, one thing was really great though. Through the whole pandemic, I was able to get one of my favorites, Katie Shanda Reynolds, to come back and do some of our shows. And she's a host for the next show you're going to see some clips of. March Madness clips.
Unfortunately, with all the stuff that's going on, we could not have a March Madness. Could not have the brackets.
We had a different kind of March Madness, Joe.
True. We did not have
It
basketball.
was a very mad March, but not in the way we had hoped.
We did not have a basketball Sweet 64 tournament that
We did not.
people would watch for weeks and weeks on end, and then this weekend would have been, I think, the finals. So we didn't have that. And also, we couldn't get to go to movies. We couldn't go out to movies, into a movie theater and have popcorn and sit with people next to each other and share the popcorn. We couldn't do any of that. So
You gonna introduce BB?
BB
wants to be on the show.
BB, which we have all known just before pre-production meetings, is B. B, and named after BB King or BB Newirth or Black Beauty or all the above.
Named after Black Beauty because my daughter really wanted a horse.
Yeah, my daughter's always wanted a horse. I want. I'm gonna maybe just get a horse farm and retire there, and just with just the horses, nobody else. But anyway, so we back to BB. If you more than welcome to join us at any time, at any moment.
She'll just pop in and out as she pleases. That's what cats do.
Well, you know what? If she was one of the voters for the movies, that would be excellent. So what we ended up doing to kill some time and keep people interested, create a bracket of 64 movies in which we had around 40 plus people voting on what their favorite was, very similar to the brackets in basketball. Let's see who made the final 2 out of this 4. And the winner is Raiders big over Jaws, 63-37.
Yeah. Took them out.
Beat Forrest by one vote.
That one vote.
One vote.
Yeah.
That was a tie there.
This is where I started biting my nails, Joe.
I know.
Because I was with that other person. If Pulp Fiction's going to win this thing, I'm not happy.
And look what happened. The finals are Raiders versus Pulp. So
Yep.
you want to leave now, or you want to tell them who won the event?
Oh,
The winner,
nerve-wracking.
Raiders versus Pulp by a 63-37 margin.
It is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
But I wasn't just satisfied with doing a bracket show. I was missing real live theater. I was missing the skits, the comedy, the music. So what I wanted to do was a 90-minute variety show with comedy, music. It was called ACT Players Acting Up. And it even aired on YouTube and on WACA TV in late April, the same night that we would have opened up the show, The Viewing Room. Wasn't exactly the same, but it was as close as we could get given the circumstances. Here are some of my favorite clips from that show, ACT Players Acting Up.
Hello out there in TV land. My name is Paul Wapchap, and I'm here to tell you about a fantastic offer that may just change your life. Yes, I'm talking about Starface. That's right, the one, the only, the original program that can make you look like a star. Are you depressed? Do you recoil in horror when you look in the mirror? Were you playing hooky when God was giving out the good-looking faces? Do your friends think you're the main branch on the ugly tree? Well, here at Starface, we can change all that. Once you've been to Starface, you can proudly tell the world, no more fruits falling off my tree, I'm a star. Have you ever dreamed of looking like a movie star? Maybe Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, or Halle Berry. Or maybe someone famous from history like Abraham Lincoln, Julius Caesar, or Eleanor Roosevelt. Well, now your dream can become your reality. The Starface system uses no messy sprays or gels. Our procedure is designed to not alter any bone structure, although there may be some temporary paralysis when your Starface wears off. Our factory-trained conditions operate in a completely sterile environment, using only local anesthetic. And get this, we'll come right to your home or office. Plus, we guarantee that our technicians will not be drunk when they're performing your procedure. That's one hard and fast rule at Starface. Oh, let them get God snobbered on their own time. Well, enough from me. Let's talk to one of our few, many satisfied customers, Bob. Bob was in real trouble before he called Starface. His wife had left him, his kids no longer called him daddy, and gosh darn it, he was just one unhappy camper. Bob, tell us more.
Thanks, Paul. As Paul said, I was definitely in a funk. Before I called Starface, and my wife was off with her boyfriend somewhere, and my boss had fired me. Your face, he said. It was your face, my face. Oh, I didn't know where to turn. But then, in a moment of inspiration, I remembered Paul and Starface from Paul's late night infomercial. I called Paul and his team, and they could not have been more helpful. After sending them my picture, they sent a team out to me immediately, as if they were right around the corner. But anyway, Ronnie and Carol and Beatrice could not have been more professional. There were no judgments, no gaffes, no snide remarks. And anonymity, they showed up at my house in a plain white van with no markings or advertisements. And the process went smooth, let me say, only slightly painfully. They injected me with local animal anesthetic, and when I woke up, I was a new man. Yes, folks, I was Tom Brady. I knew it was only going to be temporary, but who wouldn't want to be Tom Brady, even if only for a few months? I bet even Giselle couldn't tell us apart. Well, maybe she looked real close, but anyway, who cares? No one else could. I was a portly Tom Brady. Oh, Paul, it was a miracle. People stopped me on the street and asked for my autograph. I sold 4 memberships to TB12. Oh, and the co-eds, the real live co-eds, not like those ones on the TV show. Oh, they lined up to take a picture with this Super Bowl hero. I thought I died and gone to heaven. But even though I'm back to being plain old ugly Bob again, I have memories that last a lifetime. I was Tom Brady. I was the GOAT. Now I just look like one. Kind of smell like one too. But things aren't all that bad. Sure, I'm living in my car and I don't eat regular meals. But I'll bet even Tom Brady spent a night or two in his car. Don't you think? But, oh, Paul, by the way, you were going to send somebody over about that problem with my jaw? the thing I'm...
Okay, good, Bob. Thanks, Bob. Glad to hear things are going so well. Keep at it. And remember our customer loyalty discount. Folks, I get very emotional when I read one of our customer testimonials. Oh, excuse me. What? For those of us trying to access our website, please note that it has been temporarily shut down by the FDA, but we expect it to be up and running in a day or two. Please be patient. You know, it's not just men that use Starface. Here's Shirley to tell you about her Starface experience. Shirley?
Yes, Paul, like Bob, I too was in the dumps. Oh, it had been a bad month. Well, a bad year, actually. My husband was sleeping in the guest room. My kids were taking their meals behind closed doors. Even our dog would turn his rump to me when I entered the room. Oh, I was at the end of my rope. But now, everything has changed. I'm a new woman, if I say so myself. I just picked up the phone and called Paul at 1-800-BE-A-STAR and told the operator I want to look like a star. And it was so easy. Oh, I made an initial down payment and agreed to monthly payments for 4 years. That's all. I just charged it to our credit card. After hours of looking through samples and mug books, I decided on my new face. Yes, I choose Amelia Earhart, the pioneering female flyer who went missing in 1937. Oh, it felt so natural. Paul's team even provided me with a flying cap and goggles.
On a walk again. Seems to be taking me on a walk again. Used to be a short one early in the morn, and now it seems we're walking once again. On a walk again. Going places that we've already been. See the other dogs dragged out by their humans, 'cause they can't wait to go on a walk again. On a walk again. He doesn't go to work or bars or ballparks. I'm his only friend. I guess that's why he drags me down the driveway. Down the driveway. On a walk again. Seems to be taking me on a walk again. It used to be a short one early in the morn, and now it seems we're walking once again. Walk again. He doesn't go to work or bars or ballparks. I'm his only friend. I guess that's why he drags me down the driveway. Down the driveway. On a walk again. I can't take another walk again. Used to catch a nap every now and then, but now it's walking, walking once again. Yeah, walking, walking, walking once again.
Hi, I'm John Smith. That's not my real name, but it really wasn't any of your business anyway. Is your significant other driving you crazy? Are you having trouble engaging in extramarital relations? Do you think the Wachowskis should have never made sequels to The Matrix? If you answered yes to at least 2 of these questions, then allow me to introduce you to a fair trade. Here at a fair trade, we believe that a good company will come up with new and exciting ways to improve the lives of its clients, whereas a great company will ensure that you are the best possible version of you that there can possibly be, even if the best possible version of you is a pile of human trash. A fair trade has been at the forefront of modern psychological and sociological research for the past few years, and we consider ourselves to be experts on marriage and human connection as a whole. We admit that our work is yet to be approved by any major scientific publications, but like we said, we consider ourselves to be experts, and so should you. Here at A Fair Trade, we understand if you're having difficulty with increased exposure to your significant other during these troubling times. When those beautiful marriage vows were spoken between the two of you all those years ago, till death do us part, we know that under the assumption that we're both at work during the day and have limited interactions at night and on the weekends was thought to be universally understood. Marriage was never meant to last under such harrowing conditions, and if you're struggling to cope, then don't be afraid to reach out for help. That's where we come in. We know that you can't go out and have your extramarital affairs, and you certainly shouldn't have to be around your spouse all the time, so we decided to bring the affairs to you. A basic level subscription to A Fair Trade will allow our team of professionals to create a profile on your behalf and match you with potential partners of equal unfaithfulness. From there, you can chat with them for as long as you like about whatever your sordid little brain desires. You might not be able to enjoy the physical benefits of your affairs, but the familiar sensation of all the guilt that plagues your soul will be just as you remembered. All of this can be yours for a mere $19.99 a month. You can also upgrade to our premium level subscription for an additional $10 a month. That's only $59.99 a month. All the content we mentioned earlier is yours, but with your blessing we'll also call your significant other and distract them so that you can enjoy your affairs uninterrupted. However, please be aware that should your significant other choose to hang up on us, we will not use any physically or emotionally distressing topics of conversation to keep them distracted. We value their well-being just as much as we value yours. But don't take my word for how amazing our product is, even though the very idea that you wouldn't trust me is insulting. Why don't you listen to the testimonies of some of our happiest customers?
Before A Fair Trade, I hated my life. I was trapped at home all day, forced to spend every minute of every day and night with my intelligent and beautiful wife. It was a nightmare. Just looking at how amazing she was made me feel like garbage. It was as if her brilliant mind and dazzling good looks were gazing into my soul, saying horrible things like, "You'll never be good enough," and "You'd be miserable and alone if it wasn't for me," and "I wish Nickelback would release a new album." Now with A Fair Trade, I can talk to as many women as I like without having to live with them doing stuff, like looking at me funny, or breathing.
Thanks, Mike. We're glad we could help. A Fair Trade is helping men like Mike all across the nation. But wait, I hear the women say, what about us? How can we escape our husbands in this hypothetical heteronormative world I've created? Well, ladies, you're in luck, because A Fair Trade is for women too. And now, for a limited time only, you can get a special wage gap discount on your A Fair Trade subscription at 77% of the normal price. Still don't believe it's worth it? Here's Maggie.
My husband and I met when we were both 18 years old. We've been happily married for 5 years. Unfortunately, we're celebrating our 20th wedding anniversary this weekend. Married life for the past 15 years has been a never-ending cycle of bad jokes, worse sex, and even worse cooking. Thanks to A Fair Trade, I can talk to guys half my age, and boy, do they know how to get my engine running.
Yes, well, thanks for that wonderful anecdote, Maggie. If these testimonies haven't somehow been enough to convince you, don't worry, because there's more. Call us now at 1-800-069-6969, and we'll even throw in an inflatable sex doll at no additional cost. Why make love to your spouse when you could disappoint an inanimate object that won't judge you instead? Call us now at 1-800-069-6969. That's 1-800-069-6969. You've made terrible choices in your marriage. Let A Fair Trade be the first right choice for you.
But even that wasn't enough to keep us busy. So we were all binging on TV, all binging on shows, movies. So we did a TV bracket show that had 128 shows. And I encouraged some of our very close friends to be part of the Not So Newlywed game. Take a look at some of the clips from those shows.
Tonight we have Linda and Clark Slocum.
Hey.
Hey.
How long have you guys been together?
30 years.
Jerry and Karen.
Hey.
Now, how long have you guys known each other?
Well, we've known each other many years. How many?
1997, we met when we were working together at the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office.
Hey.
And then we have Austin O'Toole and Melanie Blodgett O'Toole. Did I say that correctly?
You did, and that hyphen should tell you a lot.
So, and how long has the hyphens been together?
We've been hyphenated for 22 years.
Right.
And together 25.
Right.
And now we got my other good friends, Bunny and Jim Porter. Welcome aboard tonight.
Hello.
How long have you guys been together?
Well, we've been married over 33, and we knew each other a couple of years before that. Not long.
There is no wrong answers here, only husbands that are wrong. Just getting that right out of the way. First question is a very simple question, Austin, and every other gentleman's got the same question. What's your favorite color, Austin?
Blue.
Oh, thank God.
You got a point. Ding, 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 ding. Clark, what's your favorite color?
I go back and forth between blue and green, but I'm going with green because I'm wearing green today.
That's great. That's great. That was good. She, she said blue and green, and she went with blue, so you're off.
Yeah, see,
Well, I didn't look at what you were wearing today.
Well, that's your fault.
Right, there's no yelling.
Austin and Melanie, she was so definitive on this, and she says there's no way you could get this wrong, Austin. Just say it.
Okay, well, it's going to be a dog, and there are two options. One is the dog that bolted down the street and saved my life, according to my mom at the time. The other one,
was your mom at the time?
At the time.
That's just a different story.
Your mom now.
The other one dragged his butt down the hill when the bus came. His name was Pepper.
Okay, does Charger ring a bell?
Yeah, Charger was the first dog. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but you didn't say that.
So. I picked Pepper because you knew Pepper.
I know, but all I can.
You knew Pepper.
I thought Pepper's was Charger. I thought everything was Charger. I thought everything was Charger. Who didn't say that Pepper?
It was a
You
given
didn't
name.
say Charger, and you didn't say dog, so I can't give you the point, guys, because you
I
didn't
said dog.
You said Charger. You never said dog. I'll go back to the videotape.
That's
just a replay.
That feels unfair.
We'll make it up.
We
We'll
knew
make
it
You think
was
it's
a dog.
unfair? Well, then, have a drink. Okay, third question.
Wait.
Starting with Jerry. Ready?
Okay.
What did you get your spouse for the last birthday?
Oh God.
What did you get your spouse for the last birthday?
A coat.
I'm sorry? I couldn't hear you.
I said a coat.
That, yeah, would go well with her diamond ring earrings that she said you got her.
I remember that.
I told her I can't have my wife watch the show because of that. But the coat is a better answer, but you don't get any points for that. But it was funny. Jim.
You didn't ask me the clothes question.
Oh, you know what?
That's right.
I'm guaranteeing you're not going to get this right. So what is your question?
I'm not.
What is your answer?
Underwear, stretched out underwear. I don't know. Like, men wear their underwear until they disintegrate.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you're right. I was absolutely right about you not getting this one right because Karen, what did you say? Do you remember?
Socks with holes in them.
There you go. So once again, I'll do the recap. It's still 3-2.
Technically, she said there's nothing you wear that she doesn't like because she picks them out.
Oh.
True.
But I also said that he has
And
good
them.
fashion sense.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Melanie's ratting you out, Karen. That's great. This is why we only do this in Zoom because there could be glasses flying in.
I just want Austin to learn what he should do. Let me pick out the shirt.
That's true.
But I love that parrot shirt. So I'll get
No.
So which of my family members does she find?
Yes.
Me.
I didn't know that was an option.
My sister just
I love the rest of your family. You, I could do without, is what you're saying.
I married you.
Is there anybody in your family that she would find? Anybody in your family that she would find annoying?
I'm just going with my sister because
Your
why
sister.
not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she said, do you have a nun in your family? Oh, no, you just said none. Okay. I'm sorry.
She was trying to help him.
Well, I didn't know that was an option.
I did. Well, I kind of guided you. Is there anybody in your family that you find annoying? Like,
Oh,
You did. Good.
And Melanie, Austin deliberated over this for.
Are we gonna waste our time? 100% me.
No seconds. He didn't let me finish because you were going to answer. He deliberated absolutely no seconds. I didn't even finish the question, and he said, her. Her. All right. We're going to go over to Karen here. Which one of the two of you said, I love you first? Which one of the two of you said, I love you first?
Gerald.
And she's pointing to Jerry's head, so I'm going to go with Jerry there. Okay. Bunny.
I think Jim did.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wait, did I get it right? You didn't tell me.
I'm sorry. I didn't do my ding, 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 ding to you. Yes, you got it right.
Thank you.
Melanie, just to let you know, no one has gotten a wrong answer so far, just to say. But that's not true. We have General Hospital and Grey's Anatomy wrong, but you have not had a wrong answer so far is what I'm saying. You have not had a wrong answer.
No pressure. Awesome.
Ding, 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 ding. Wrong. You said you.
I did not say it. I know exactly where I was sitting in the closet in my apartment that I lived with 3 other people.
Closet.
You were sitting in the closet?
I thought it was in a letter.
No, it was in a letter. What? Oh my God.
Why are you in the closet?
My roommates were having a party.
Right.
I lived with these terrible roommates. They were just immature. And
I think you weren't.
Shut up. I was so mature by then. And he said it first. And I waited and waited because he had told me that he had said it to other girlfriends sooner. And then later he told me it's because I knew I was going to marry you. And I was like, I just wanted to just say it, dude. We were a long distance relationship at the time. You said it.
You
first.
wrote in a letter.
I did not write it. 1,000%.
No, I don't know who's right or wrong, but we're going to go to the next answer. Linda and Clark. This show is Not So Newlywed Game, Volume 2. And we have 4 wonderful couples, very good friends, ACT players and their spouses, Mauro and Donna Ciccarelli. Thank you. How long have you guys been together?
We've been together 36 years, married for 31.
Wow. Second, we have Brendan and Terry Bulkey. How are you guys doing? How long have you guys been together?
27 years, and we'll be 22 in August. Married 22 in August.
And also, we have John Keeler and Katrina Lieberger. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And how long have you guys been together?
16 years, married for 9.
Yep.
I like the fact that he answered that and she concurred as that is a correct answer.
That is a correct answer.
That is a correct answer. They get an extra point. That's good. That's good. And last but not least, we have another wonderful couple, Vin and Julie Murphy. Hi, guys. How you doing? How long have you guys been together?
Do you know?
Well, we've been married for 22 years, and I would say we'd probably be together for about 3 more before that.
So, Vin, here's your chance to take the lead here.
No. I have no idea. I don't remember anything. I'll guess it wasn't good, I'm sure. Usually the presents aren't very good for me. So I'm going to say a box of chocolate, but I'm sure they were.
Wow. Did it come with the Apple Watch in the box or outside the box? Where is the Apple Watch in that?
Was it to me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was something I was giving her. Because honestly, I can't remember that either. But yes, I did have the Apple Watch. It's right here. I don't. Thank you.
Okay. Brendan, it's going to you. Who would survive longer in the zombie apocalypse, Brendan? Who would survive longer in the zombie apocalypse?
Me.
We have not had that conversation.
So, Terry, what did you say?
I said me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
you're dying.
I can show up.
Nah.
John and Katrina. John, what did Katrina say?
Oh, it's definitely me. She's gone in first round.
I said 1,000% you.
Well, she said she's too busy doing the bills. That's why she's. That's a ding, 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 ding. Got that one right. Vin, what did your lovely wife say?
I believe she would say me. I am a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout. So, what?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, me.
Ding, 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 ding. All right, last but not least, Maura, who would survive longer in the zombie apocalypse?
No, Bernie, it's going to be me. She knows that.
Ding, 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 ding. And that was the bonus point question. So you also get an extra point for getting that one correct. Congratulations.
She wants to just lay down and die. Not even going to try.
All right, because that's what's coming up in October, because we've already gone through everything else this year. So right to October is the zombie apocalypse. What was the board game that you're better at, Maura, than?
I don't know if you would like this, but I'm going to say Scrabble.
Yeah, no, that's not what I said. I should have life. I couldn't.
Life? I beat him at life.
I'll just record that and just give that to you for your anniversary gift that you're giving each other. All right. Nero and Donna, what did you guys say?
I don't have unusual clothing. What do you think is unusual of mine? I don't know. I'm going to go with a pair of sneakers. I don't have anything.
Okay, that's all right.
I said, what did you use for like the dance class? You know, when
it's a costume.
Usual.
It's a costume.
Losing to these people.
Since we're all alone, I figured maybe we should do a monologue show. I thought we could get people doing skits and do a show. Here's some clips from the monologue show that we did.
So my daughter called me up a couple of weeks ago and asked if I would run a 5K for charity. Sure, I said. Just to set the record straight, I do run. I think I've run maybe 6 timed races in my life. And the highlight so far was in the very first race I ran. It was a 5K. And I was getting close to the finish line, and I was congratulating myself on having made it when a roar went up from the crowd. And I thought, wow, how supportive the running community is. At which point, a guy passed me, and he was pushing a stroller with triplets in it. Now, to be fair, he was younger than me. I'm pretty sure it was a racing stroller, and the end of the race was kind of downhill, so all the momentum from those extra people, it probably helped him, right? Well, he won, and within 2 minutes, every woman under 40 within a 2-mile radius was near him, and I got this. It's kind of like a participation trophy for 6-year-olds playing soccer when you finish 9th out of 10 in a tournament. Yeah. To be clear, I don't join races to win, but a race in this day and age, all those runners packed together at the starting line, wouldn't get a gold star from Dr. Fauci. And I already run slowly enough that I'm not going to do it in a hazmat suit. But no worries. Turns out the modern version of a race is a virtual one. Not only are you not packed into the starting gate with other runners, there is no starting gate. And in fact, you don't run the same course, you don't run at the same time, you don't necessarily run with other people, and you're pretty much on the honor system for your time. I know. Sounds weird, but I paid my $30, and so I ran. So, I ran. Well, trudged might be more accurate, and I finished in a time that might not make a tortoise jealous. But taking so long did give me a chance to think about things while I was out there, and it occurred to me that I had just paid $30 to go run on a course of my own choosing, with no one around, witnessed by absolutely no one, and without even any triplets. You know, this sounds like a scam. I mean, if I were to say to you that for $30, I will allow you to go out and run wherever you want, whenever you want, however long you want, and the time doesn't really matter. You tell me to go jump in a lake. Oh, or better yet, I could tell you that I will donate $1 of your entry fee to the charity of your choice. Pocket the rest. Still a scam. This sounds like one of those Nigerian prince email specials. You know, the ones where His Highness sends you an email and says he has a whole trunk of gold, and if you just send $10 or $100 or $1,000, then he can get the gold out of the country and he'll split it with you. See the similarities? You send in money, you get nothing. I mean, in fact, you could make an argument that His Highness's victims are better off, because at least they didn't have to run 3 miles to get ripped off. Or maybe it's not a scam. Maybe we really did raise $80,000 for charity. You know, I think I might sign up to do another one of these. And I think you'd be interested too. So, please click on the link below and send me $30, for which I will register you at this low introductory rate. And don't worry if you don't hear from me for a while. Just go run a bit.
Hello, is this Mrs. Richardson? Well, hi, I'm Stevie W. from WTNA, Best Parent Ever. So you have been nominated to be the best parent ever. All I need from you is some reasons as to why you believe you are the best parent ever.
Well, the first thing, I always have things under control. You guys, shut up! Mom's on a Zoom show. I told you to keep it down, so shut it. Sorry. Where was I? Oh, right. I've never left my kids at a rest stop on the Mass Pike more than 2 times. And the first time doesn't count because Jimmy ran away. I never allow my children to pump gasoline into the car unattended. I mean, not after Billy doused himself with the gas hose. Oh. Luckily, this guy came by to help us. He was going to run in and get some water. He's like, I'm a doctor. I was like, thank God. He was like, well, I'm a psychologist. I'm like, what the hell are you going to do? Ask him how he feels about the gas? I'm happy to report that their favorite shows are my favorite shows. We watch them together. We watch The Simpsons, Sons of Anarchy, The Real Housewives, Walking Dead. It's weird. They have the same taste as me. I don't have any favorites. Any. Of all my children, I just tell them that they're all my favorites. I lie to their little faces. But the real favorite is definitely Andrew. I feed them 3 solid, healthy meals a day. Almost every day. I mean, maybe not the weekends, but that doesn't count. That's their dad's job. I rarely bring them to bars. Unless I haven't had a drink in 8 hours. Or it's been a rough day and mommy needs a little comfort because daddy worked too many hours and left me with them for 8 hours in a row. I teach them things all the time. I love education and I love to teach them. And just yesterday, I showed them how the DVR works, how to get money from the ATM with an expired card, and how to raise money outside the grocery store pretending to sell Girl Scout cookies. I play games with them all the time. Our favorite is the quiet game. It's that one where like who speaks first loses and doesn't get to sleep in a bed that night. They love that game. We play it all the time. The record's Little Genie. It's been 3 weeks since she said a word. That kid is well rested.
Oh, okay, Mrs. Richardson. Is there any other reason why you think you should be considered the best parent ever?
Oh, and unlike my best friend Grace, I've never been arrested for leaving my children home alone. So the kids called 911 because they were afraid of the thunderstorms. And when the police arrived, because of the 911 call, they found the kids alone and they found the bottles of muscle relaxers that she keeps around the house, you know, to help her get through the day. I mean, she's got 4 kids. Who can blame her? Well, she may or may not have had a prescription for said muscle relaxers. So, well, the cops just ended up taking everybody to the ER because they weren't sure if the kids had taken them or not. And Grace got pinched. So that's the number one reason that I'm the number one parent.
As the year was dragging on, we were getting close to the middle of summer, and music was in the air. And I thought, let's put together a music show. Maybe it'll keep us going. But first, before we do that, we needed a word from our core sponsor who supported us all year last year. Here's Mr. Clean.
Hi, I'm Mr. Clean. Not only am I a Starface client, I'm a lifetime member, and you can be one too. That's right, fellas, I'm talking to you and the cougars that love you. Mr. Clean knows that foreplay starts with doing the dishes after supper.
You got that right. Nothing gets me going more than a nice, smooth, clean kitchen table. I really like it when those dirty, big, and messy, sticky dishes, well, they're all out of the sink and they are neatly stuffed deep inside the dishwasher. The rough and tumble setting, well, they're all turned on.
And fellas, let me tell you, Mr. Clean knows if you want romance in the bedroom, it starts with a clean kitchen and a clean bathroom. Am I right, ladies?
You go, boyfriend. Don't get me roses. Don't get me chocolates. Get me a nice, clean bathtub so I can take my long, drawn-out bubble baths that make my skin feel so smooth and soft. And don't get me started on what it does to me when the toilet bowl is clean and the seat's left down. Yes.
And ladies, don't be fooled by those other types like Brawny or Mr. Bubbles. They don't have the stamina that Mr. Clean has. Not only will I get down on my knees until the job's done right, I'll make sure you're satisfied.
I heard that, Mr. Clean. I love a man who knows how to do things right and isn't worried how long it will take for the job to be finished. He just wants his clients to be completely satisfied.
So fellas, what are you waiting for? Come on down. Sign up right now. For 57 quick payments of $23.68, you too can be Mr. Clean. And if you act right now, use promo code ACTION and we'll throw in a 2-liter bottle of Pharrell tile wash and body spray. So remember, fellas, when you call up, call and ask for Mr. Clean. That's Mr. Clean with a K, because nobody wants to get sued. We just want to get lucky.
you see. Love them, but right now I want to scream. I used to brag about their brilliance to see how dumb they now can be. Love them, but right now I want to scream. Want to scream, want to scream, want to scream, want to scream. Love them, but right now I want to scream. Want to scream, want to scream, want to scream, want to scream. Love them, but right now I want to Want to scream, want to scream, want to scream, want to scream. Love you, but right now I want to scream. My Instacart came, how exciting, but 25%'s not here. Oh crap, now I really want to scream. And Amazon's still out of Purell. And oh crap, now I'm out of beer. Expletive deleted. Want to scream. 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 Expletive deleted. Want to scream. 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 Admit it, now you really want to scream. 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 Admit it, now you want to scream with me.
One of the first things we were able to do that didn't require Zoom was we were able to film a section of the film Castaway. We filmed it in my backyard with Connor Donovan and Allison Rose as the camera people, and myself and Jerry Halfhide as the actors in the scene. So here's that scene that we were able to do this summer from Castaway.
We both did the math. Kelly added it up. Knew she had to let me go. I added it up. Knew that I had lost her. Because there was no way I was getting off that island. I was going to die there, totally alone. I was going to get sick or injured or something. The only choice I had, the only thing I could control, was the when, the how, and the where it was going to happen. So I took a rope and I went up to the summit to hang myself. I had to test it, you know. You know me. The weight of the log snapped the limb of the tree. I couldn't even kill myself the way I wanted to. I had power over nothing. That's when this feeling came over me like a warm blanket. I knew I had to stay alive. Somehow, I had to keep breathing, even though there was no reason for hope. Even though all my logic said I would never see this place again. So that's what I did. I stayed alive. I kept breathing. And one day, that logic was proven all wrong. Because the tide came in, and it gave me a sail. Now here I am. I'm back in Memphis, talking to you. There's ice in my glass. I've lost her all over again. I'm so sad that I don't have Kelly. But I am so grateful that she was with me on that island. So now I know what I have to do. I have to keep breathing, because tomorrow the sun will rise. Who knows what the tide could bring?
And after the music show ended, we still had some skits that we wanted to show. So we did a summer finale show. And here are some skits from that episode.
No, you were not helpful. All I want is a return box and label. You are the third chat representative. What? No. I'm back on automated attendant on chat. This is insane. I've been at this for an hour. I'm just going to call them. 4-digit PIN. What do you want next? My bra size? Returns. Returns. No, not billing. Returns. No, not service. Returns. What part of returns do you not understand? Operator. Attendant. Representative. Will you just put someone on the god? Hello, I'm trying to reach someone in returns. Okay, yeah. Hold is good. I love Hold. Hold just rocks my world. Same crappy music. No, I don't want to chat with a representative on the computer. I have tried everything you are recommending. You know what I think? I think that someone is listening to me. Even though this obnoxious music is playing, I think there's someone on the other end of this phone listening to every word I say. You know what? I was just going to exchange an item, but now I'm going to return it. And you know what else? I'll cancel my contract. I have been with this company for 25 years. 25 years of paying you month after month. That's like 300 months of paying for the service that wasn't even that spectacular to begin with. I'll go with another company. That's right. I'll buy out my contract and I'll move on. Do you hear that? You are dead to me. Hello, yes, I needed a box, but what? I already gave you my account number. Seriously, why do you make people enter all that information if you're just going to ask for them again once you finally pick up the phone? Well, look, you don't need the info now because I'm leaving you. No, there is nothing you can do to make me stay. Please cancel my contract. No, $10 off the bill won't help. I'm serious. It's over. Per month? Oh, that's actually not too bad. No, I'm not falling for it. You say you'll change, but you never do. You just keep me hanging on. An upgrade? At no charge? For how long? Well, maybe I could stay a little longer. Can I get that in pink?
Hey, are you okay? I heard screaming from across the street.
Yeah, no, we haven't had toilet paper in weeks. I've had to resort to the single ply stuff I stole from Burger King. I'm worried that we're gonna need to go without soon.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We're getting kind of low ourselves. You know, Rob had a big supply in his garage a while back. Let's see if I can connect in with him. Maybe he's got some to spare. Hold on.
Oh, hey, Chris. Hi, Patty. What's up?
We are getting close to a toilet paper emergency. Chris said you might be able to hook me up.
Oh, man, I wish you'd called me earlier. We just donated a bunch to the church, and now I'm getting a little concerned because we're starting to run low.
That sucks.
Well, at least we're all suffering.
Have you checked with Joy?
Think it's worth it?
It couldn't hurt. Hang on.
Hey, what?
Oh, my God, Joy, it's the middle of the day. Are you all right?
I got furloughed.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, they said I'll get reinstated when things get back to normal, whenever that is.
Well, at least you get to catch up on TV.
I think I finished Netflix last night. I accidentally watched Tiger King twice.
Like, is there anything we can do to help? I mean, do you need food?
Nah, we're actually pretty stocked up on food.
Do you need any money?
No, we got enough. We saved up. We aren't in danger of missing any bills or anything.
Well, is there anything else you need?
Well, now that you mention it, there is one thing I could use. Mainly toilet paper.
Paper.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So I guess that's a problem all around, huh?
Yeah, that's the purpose of this call.
Mm. You know, my cousin Kathy, she always has, she's this close to being a hoarder. So I was going to call her a little later this afternoon and see if she could quote us a few supplies.
Oh, that would be great. Is there any chance we could include my neighbor, Phil?
Yeah, sure. I'll add him in. I guess everyone needs some TP.
At least until the store restocks.
Hold on.
Joy, I am very busy at work. Why is everyone on Zoom? Shouldn't you all be working?
Well, Kathy, I know you don't know all of us very well, but we've been commiserating over the lack of toilet paper.
Joy thought that you might have some.
You know, enough to share.
You want me to dip into my stock?
Yes, please.
Let me look.
Oh, geez.
Oh, I didn't need to see that.
My name is Roger Finplaster, your host of Can You Effin' Believe It? We're coming to you live from WTNA, the intellectual programming for the few. I'm here with two special guests, Julian Freeminkel, a self-described hippie and flower child from the 1960s, and Roland Van Crumple III, a caveman. Yes, folks, that's what I said, a real caveman. And they have collaborated on a few projects that they're going to tell you about. Can you effing believe it?
Man, I'm a real tie-dyed rock and roll flower child of the 1960s. I don't use deodorant, and I haven't flossed since 1966.
So tell us, where have you been for the past 50 years?
Well, Roger, I've been buried in a potato field in Troy, New York, and boy, are my arms tired.
And here I thought that hippies were imaginary like unicorns and free health care.
Roger, we're as real as 2% almond milk and gluten-free bread.
Let's go to our caveman. How about you, Roland? Do you have any interesting stories to tell?
I was at a dinner party one Friday night when this group of Neanderthals crashed the party. And we all know how Neanderthals can get once they've had a few drinks. So I went outside for a smoke. The next thing I know, I'm in a laboratory having my hair styled and my nails cut by these pretty technicians.
A dinner party? Are you telling us that cavemen were more intelligent and sophisticated than we were led to believe?
You're bloody well right, Roger. I was in the process of opening my third art cave gallery in a little cave I had located outside of present-day Edinburgh. I was also building a C&B nearby.
Oh, and Roger, we're collaborating on a book together called The Caveman and the Hippie, Misunderstood or Ridiculous. We've got our hearts set on Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts playing the hippie couple in the movie version.
Don't forget Stallone. He's eager to play the caveman.
Sounds like a blockbuster. So, gentlemen, what subject do you two argue over the most?
Well, I'd say women's rights. Roland, wouldn't you agree? As hippies, we believed in equal rights for all. If a woman wanted to be on the ruling council, you're on. She wanted to farm instead of cooking, the field is that way. She wanted to grow a mustache, well, you get the idea.
Let me tell you a short story that illustrates the caveman view. I was in Colonel's library one evening, sipping a woolly mammoth and tonic, when one of the other guests mentioned that his wife wanted to go out on a hunt. After he finished, the colonel said, "What rights?" I guess you had to be there.
There, you see? See what I mean? It's like he's a caveman or something.
Oh, gentlemen, I see we are almost out of time. Thank God. Anything you want to say to our viewers before we go?
Oh, well, thank you, Roger. I am honored to be part of the WTNA family. I grew up watching WTNA, and in fact, it was the only channel my parents allowed us to watch.
Julian and I will be at Southwestern University tonight at 8 o'clock for a short talk and Q&A. Your viewers can see the remaining dates on our speaking tour and our line of hippie caveman products at our website, hippiecavemanlove.com.
Gentlemen, it has been a real eye-opener. Tune in next week when I'll be interviewing the leaders of a community that requires its residents to be shorter than 5'4". I can hear that Randy Newman song now. Well, anyway, I am Roger Finplaster, and this has been Can You Effin' Believe It? Good luck and good night.
Well, Zoom served its purposes and it got us through almost late summer. We weren't really satisfied with that. So we ventured out and we did a very short film, something written by Chris Era that Chris and Diana Doyle, two actors, played, called ER Visits. We were very socially distant. We followed all the right protocols. The show was directed by myself and was edited, and all the cinematography was done by the great Allison Rose. So here is ER Visit that we did in early fall of 2020.
Excuse me, could I ask you a question?
Sure.
This is going to sound ridiculous. going to think I'm crazy.
Believe me, I am in no position to judge anyone on that score.
Why do you say that?
Oh, you're probably here to visit a friend or family member, and
What?
I didn't mean to pry. Oh my gosh, I hope you haven't had a tragedy. I mean, this is a hospital.
No tragedy.
Whew.
No worries.
Can we start over? I'm Steve.
Alexa.
That was better.
Yeah.
So,
you're not here to see a friend or family member?
not in the conventional sense.
What's the unconventional sense?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
Okay? I'm here because I got a strange message telling me to come here.
You're kidding.
That sounded even weirder than it is. I didn't mean I saw it in my mashed potatoes or you got it straight from the lizard people.
No, let me guess. You got an email saying that there was a family member you didn't even know about in this hospital, and you were asked to come to the ER and sit on this Cheever bench.
You sent it?
No, I got one just like it.
How?
I got an email. You?
Me too. And you never heard of this person that's in the hospital?
No, never.
Who sent the email?
Some lawyer or someone pretending to be a lawyer?
Named Theodosius Wilder?
Same here.
And you never heard of this person in the hospital, and there's some vague implication of a will, and you might be in it?
Exactly.
You think it's legit?
Well, I guess I must at least think it's possible. I'm here, aren't I?
So you are.
Wait, so if we both got the same email and we both have a relative here, that would mean...
Either he's got the market cornered on dying guys with long-lost relatives, it's a total scam, or you are my long-lost sister.
Since we couldn't have a Halloween, we decided to revisit our show that we did back in 2014 on stage called Dame Airs on Oak Street. So Allison and I got together and looked at those 8 scenes that we did, and the days leading up to Halloween, we aired them so that we could have a little bit of a semblance of Halloween and theater at the same time. Here are some clips from those 8 scenes from Dame Airs on Oak Street of 2014.
Yes? Who should I say is calling? Boss, it's David Ortiz. He wants another homer tonight.
Tell Bobby I'll give him a walk-off homer in the 12th. And remind him he only has 3 more left on the deal.
All right, we'll do, boss.
Who's there?
It's Dark Tianan. I have to talk to you.
Oh. My, don't you look drop-dead gorgeous tonight. What do I owe the honor of your presence today?
I'm here to ask that you remove these powers you granted me.
Powers? Powers? And which powers did I give you for your soul?
You don't remember?
Honestly, I give out powers like Vincent and Onion Festival. I can't be expected to remember them all.
But it's me, Dark Tianan. You said you would always remember me.
Dark Tianan. Dark Tianan. Oh, I'll just call you DT. What powers did I give you?
Come on. You gave me the power to be able to kill people with my thoughts.
Oh, yes. Yeah. How's that working out for you? Kill anyone lately?
Lately, I'm killing people all the time.
All the time? Are you serious? You must be very cranky.
Oh, I wish it would work on you. You, red-faced father of lies.
You know your powers don't work on me. You just killed my butler. Oh, it's in the fine print. It doesn't work on me. You know something? It's so difficult to find someone to work in this heat.
Ooh, She who sits at my table, make your presence known.
Please.
He is here.
Are you sure it's really him?
Is that really you, Howard? He says yes.
Yes, she does.
I need to ask you a very, very important question.
Ask me anything, sweetie.
Oh, he used to call me sweetie. I miss you, Howard. Howard, where did you put the spare set of house keys? Edith's coming for a visit. You know I don't like to do the kinds of things she likes to do. Remember the time she dragged us to that exotic food tasting? I wouldn't be caught dead. Oh, I'm so sorry. Eating bird brains or monkey guts again. I have to do everything myself now. And I'm scared to leave the doors unlocked with all those hoodlums out there. I know you did something with those keys.
Oh, they're in the place where we always put them.
What do you mean where we always put them? You were always moving them around. Which place are they in?
Keep looking, sweetie. They're there.
But where is there?
Oh, he's gone. But if you act now, you can receive a 10% discount on a consecutive appointment.
Yes, of course.
Oh, hello, and welcome to the I Can See Clearly Now optical department, where we always see it the customer's way. How may I help you?
Hi, I would like to get my prescription filled.
Yes, Mr. Cyclops. This prescription is only for one eye.
Yes, I know. I'm a Cyclops.
Really? I would have guessed you're a Sagittarius. I'm a Capricorn myself, but my sister's a Sagittarius, so I can usually spot them.
What does that have to do with anything? Yes, the prescription is for one eye.
Yes, I know the customer is always right, but prescription has 2 eyes in it.
I know how to spell. I mean,
Eyes is spelling bee champ, Hudson Valley High, 2008 and 2009. I had a spelling injury in 2010, or would have been 3 years in a row.
a spelling injury? What the heck is a spelling injury?
I got tongue-tied, okay? It's too painful to discuss. So anyway, are you sure you're not a Sagittarius?
No, I'm not a Sagittarius. I'm a Cyclops.
Really? I'm in relation to the Vanderclops who live down on Union Street. 2 little boys. Oh, they're the cutest things.
No, I am not related to any Vanderclops. Now, would you please fill the prescription?
Seeing as you already have half, I'm sure you can do a quick eye exam and we'll be able to fill the rest of your prescription.
Sure, whatever.
Okay, cover your left eye and read the bottom line.
A-E-D-O-S-C.
Excellent. Now cover your right eye and read the same line.
A-E-D-O-S-C.
Excellent. Both eyes are exactly the same.
Really?
I guess we could have used your prescription after all. Let's look at some frames, shall we?
The last project of 2020 was one of my favorite collaborations. It was between ACT and the Prana Center. Roberta Weiner runs the Prana Center, and Julie Murphy directed this. I did the filming and wrote all the editing notes. Allison Rose took it all, compiled it into a really, really fun ho project. This was done with the Prana Center children, and Julie Murphy, as I said, directed it. Roberta Weiner and I really had a great time doing it. So here is Ho Ho Ho, the Santa Claus Chronicles.
We all know what that sound of jingling sleigh bells means.
It has brought joy and happiness to millions of children over the years. They know that wonderful ringing means Santa Claus is on his way. You remember it, don't you? It's Christmas Eve and you're supposed to be in bed, but you can't even think of sleeping knowing that old St. Nicholas is due any minute. Did you ever think about how he gets ready for that night visit and just who helps him? Tonight, on this special edition of the Santa Claus Chronicles, we're live at the North Pole and going behind the scenes to meet some of the people and elves who prepare everything for the night before Christmas. We all have lots of questions about Santa Claus and his operations, and tonight we're going to get some answers. We're in luck. What better way to begin than with live coverage of Santa's press conference? Let's listen in.
Good evening. I trust you've all been good little boys and girls this year. After all, the chief knows who's been naughty and nice. Now I'll read a brief statement, after which I'll answer a few questions. For many, many years now, Santa has received letters detailing lists of toys that children want. More and more, however, children are also asking questions which, as you may well imagine, Mr. C just does not have time to properly answer. It is in that spirit that the chief thought this press conference might alleviate some of that backlog. So, now I'll take the first question. One at a time. Yes, you.
Yes. Can you tell us whether Santa reads each and every letter he receives?
Yes. Next.
Hold it. Do you mean yes, he does read every letter, or yes, you can answer that question?
I knew this was going to happen. Yes to both of those questions.
Thank you. If she got to ask 2 questions, does that mean we all get to ask 2 questions?
Sorry. Let's just say I'll try to be more specific with my answers from here on out. And since you're already up, do you have a question? I thought she just asked one. Oh man, this is going to be a long day. You
mentioned that Santa always knows who's been naughty and nice. How does he come by this information?
You know, back when you were a kid and you wrote him a letter?
Yes.
Well, what you didn't know was that your parents also wrote him a letter, reporting on your behavior for the year.
What?
They often even sent it in the same envelope.
I think I'll call my mother.
Too late. Next. Obviously, Santa has a well-run organization. He thinks of it as his extended family.
Lovely. Now, can you tell us, is there anything that holds up production?
Jet lag.
No, I mean up here at the North Pole, is there anything that slows down gift wrapping?
Yes, spam.
Oh, you mean he gets a lot of junk email?
No, I mean the food, spam. He eats it all the time.
I'm talking about coming up the works. Is there...
He has it for breakfast, lunch. He'd eat it all the time. As far as he's concerned, it goes on anything.
What I was referring to.
Next.
You say Santa reads every letter, but we all know of circumstances where a kid asks for something and doesn't receive it at Christmas.
Okay, I'm guessing you have a personal experience that you'd like to share with all of us.
Well, yes. When I was a kid, about 25 years ago, I asked for something, but I didn't get it. And I was good all that year.
Robertson, right?
Yes, I'm Robertson. I asked Santa for a pony.
Lived on 2017 Holly Road? 25 years ago. Good all year, huh? Wasn't that the year that you painted the family cat?
Well, I withdraw the question.
You painted the cat?
I didn't paint him, I dyed him.
Blue?
Why did you want a blue cat?
Hey, we're supposed to be asking the press secretary the questions, right?
And just what color would you have painted the pony?
Next.
During Santa's nighttime flight, what hazards does he have to avoid?
Well, he always has to fly higher over the southern U.S.
Why's that?
Those duck hunters. They're up at all hours and will shoot at anything. Next.
Santa is always giving to other people, making sure that they're happy. What does he do for relaxation? Does he have any hobbies?
Did I mention the spam? The man loves the stuff.
Yes, you...
He has a shelf life of forever and goes on anything. Make a sandwich, put it on eggs.
That's not what I was really referring to. May I rephrase the question?
So everybody does get 2 questions.
Sit down. Go ahead.
What does Santa Claus do for fun?
Well, I guess I can tell you this. Several years ago, just for fun, He used to do some fortune teller thing or other, you know, have his future read, that kind of thing.
And what did they say?
Same thing every time. You're going on a long trip.
Really?
I mean, come on. A large guy shows up with a big white beard and a red suit. What else are they going to say?
I say let's all agree with whatever he has to say.
That's what I think. No need to get him angry at us this late. Just watch what we say.
Exactly. All of us.
What? What are you all staring at me for?
For the same reason when somebody talks about what a bright date is, we all look at the sun.
Oh, so you're saying I'm bright?
Why don't we just wrap him up and drop him down a chimney?
Tension! All right. Let's straighten up that line. I want to see a point on those shoes, mister.
Yes, sir. I'll get him in the pencil sharpener right away.
See that you do. Roll call. Eenie.
Here.
Meanie.
Here.
Miney.
Here.
So.
Yo.
Don't say yo. How many times do I have to tell you? Say here.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm here now.
What?
I mean, when you asked me to say here, I was really there when you asked me to say here. But now I'm here.
That's just a word.
Just answer the sergeant. You do not have to be literal.
Whether you're here or there, you say here.
What if I'm there?
Never mind.
I can't really say here if I'm not here but there.
But wherever you are is here. You can't be there and here at the same time.
Here.
You're here twice?
I said here. That means I'm agreeing with you.
So I was right?
Elves.
He didn't say that.
So does it matter?
Well, that depends on if you're here.
Knock it off.
That's neither here nor there.
Look, I'll make it easy for you. The next time you step up, say here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Wonderful. Now then, you four are in charge of our team of reindeer. It's up to you, and you alone, to make sure that our 8 chargers are ready for that big flight across the sky. And you're all specifically chosen for your expertise, your skills, your determination, and having the boss owe you a favor. Is that a smile, mister?
Can't tell from this side, sir.
Let's run down the list, and from this side, count off your charges.
Dasher, Dancer,
Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid.
Here.
Donner and Blitzen. You're supposed to say Donner and Blitzen.
Are they here too?
Have you taken care of them, or is that too much to ask?
Nah, go ahead.
Are they ready or not?
Near as I can tell.
I am so happy.
See, he's happy.
Okay, next item.
The Santa Claus Chronicles is proud to take you behind the scenes at the North Pole to a relatively unknown part of Santa's operation, the North Pole Hotline. As we all know, Santa brings toys to all the kids, and of course, he always knows exactly what each child desires. Since Santa wants everyone to be generous and share in the spirit of giving this time of year, he offers hotline help to those who need it most. Husbands. Sometimes they haven't a clue what to give their wives for Christmas, and who would know better than the big man himself? As the saying goes, who are you gonna call? Let's see how these hotline operators operate.
Now, just take it easy. I'm sure we can help you.
That's right. Just look around and see what you think your wife needs.
Well, let's start with last year.
You'll have to be a little sneaky. You can't let her see you're looking around.
Right. What did you get her last Christmas? Can't remember.
You've tried that already? Now, don't give up.
Okay, what about her birthday? What did you get her for? Can't remember.
I know. What about perfume? How does she smell?
What about your anniversary? When's your anniversary? Can't remember.
Husbands.
Have you asked her what she wants for Christmas? She said she's already told you. 5 times.
What about bath soap? Good point. She may think you're telling her she needs a bath.
How about a memory course? No. For you.
I know, give her a gift basket. No, with stuff in it.
Say, what about a gift basket? You can personalize it with little things she likes. Great.
What about a gift card? You can personalize it from someplace she loves to shop. No problem. Glad to be of help.
I swear, it gets worse every year.
2 days before Christmas, and they're just trying now to what to think to get their wives?
I know, right? And the guy I just talked to said he's already bought 3 presents for his dog.
Makes you wonder who he spends more time with. Hold it. I'm on. North Pole Hotline. May I help you?
That's me. North Pole Hotline, can I do you some serious help?
It's Norm.
Norm.
What's your problem this year, Norm?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Well, do you have any idea where to get her? Really? Are you looking at a hardware catalog?
Coordinates? Who is this? What?
No, Norm. Think of something that'll make her happy.
Just a second, please. Yes, I'll hurry. Fiona.
Work on being thoughtful. You might consider getting her a service like a pedicure or a massage. Get back to me if you're still stuck. Bye. What?
I've got a pilot on the line.
Looking for gift ideas?
No, he's in his jetliner asking for coordinates.
Maybe he's lost.
You think?
I just hate it when the frequencies get crossed.
What'll I tell him?
Go with our usual, number 47.
47. Right. Okay, here's what you do. Fly another 47 miles, then hang a left. 10-4.
Over and out.
Over and out. What now?
Just a second and I'll tell you. North Pole Hotline, the gift that keeps on giving.
I swear, I should have never left gift wrapping.
Well, that's our show for today. 2020 was quite interesting. Wasn't what I expected going into it, but I do know we created some funny skits, some great music, and some great collaboration across the many people within ACT and WACA TV as well. I just wanted to hope we can get 21 back to the way 19 was. Theater, audiences, films, audiences, making people laugh, making people have a good time going out to theater and seeing movies. Well, 21, let's hope we can get to do those things again. Hope everyone's safe out there. Look forward to talking to everybody very soon. Good night. Well, Zoom serves its purposes, but we're just not satisfied. Dad, wow, my goodness gracious me. Allison, you're going to be upset with me. I'm doing this 4 takes. Take 4. Well, Zoom serves its purposes to do what we did. No, we're going to go to take 5. Relax, Jim. Have a Twizzler. Tasty. Dave, thank you very much for the Twizzlers. Well, you didn't give them to me, but the idea you gave to me and I bought them. Now I can't stop eating. All right.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. We're gonna entertain you. We're gonna make you smile. A little bit of acting, improv done with style. The best originality, creative to the max. Sketches and skits and full productions all coming from Ashland, Mass. We're the Ashland Community Theater. We're gonna strut our stuff for you. Collaboration, motivation, never short of good creation and personality. Hey! We're the Ashland Community Theater, also known as the ACT. It's time to sit back, enjoy the show. You won't believe what you see. It's time for the show with your host Joe White. Get strapped in tight.
One, two, three.
I pick you up and I see you in your backyard in a flower dress and you're sitting on a swing.
It's been a long time. Who knew that it would be this hard? I smell the lilacs, a sure sign of spring. I thought love had passed me by, but I'll give it one more try. Just like two crazy kids running across the street at night. We're just two crazy kids running across the street at night. We won't go far, the teenagers are upstairs. Just around the bend to walk by the lake.
Well, we've entertained you and we've made you smile. We did our bit of acting, improv done with style. The best originality, creative to the max. Sketches and skits and full productions all coming from Ashland, Mass. Well, we're the Ashland Community Theater. We're gonna strut our stuff for you. Collaboration, motivation, never short of good creation and personality. Hey! Well, we're the Ashland Community Theater, also known as the ACT. Be sure to tune in for our next show. Yeah, I'm believing what you see. Saying goodbye. Until next time. Tune in next time on the WACE Ashland Community channel on Ashland Community Access Cable and on worldwide on YouTube. And we'll see you next time. Woo! Good night, everybody.